We have a lot of problems in college football, whether you want to talk about NIL money or how the playoffs have been affecting bowl games. There's just one problem in particular I'd like to talk to you guys about today, and that's the Notre Dame problem. Look at how the committee ranks Notre Dame, especially this year. They're currently ranked 9th in the nation with an 8-2 record, just above the Crimson Tide, who is also 8-2, and just below the Sooners, who are also 8-2. So just looking at record alone, it seems fair, 8-2 record. But if you've been following college football or know anything about it this year, you would see there is a slight problem with this. They are above the same school that beat them early on in the season, who also has 8 wins and 2 losses. Now when you think about this, 2 schools, 8-2, how do you decipher which one's better? Well, first you go and see if they played against each other, and they have. The final score was 27-24, and that went to the Miami Hurricanes, who are ranked below Notre Dame by about 5 spots. Does this make sense? None at all. Now, you may be thinking, okay, well, maybe they had a bunch of impressive wins over the last few weeks. Maybe that just brought them up, and maybe they're just a better team now than they were earlier in the season, which could be the case. But you take a look at their wins. They won against currently ranked number 15 USC and unranked Pitt, who is ranked at the time 22, but no longer in the top 25. So this brings a problem to the college football world. The committee has sent a message to all of the programs in the nation, all of its fans and everything, and just college football in general. Notre Dame gets a free pass in the playoff every single year in this 12-team format. Now, last year they did go to the national championship. I'm not taking anything away from them, and honestly this year they can too. They seem dominant. But you cannot justify putting them that high when they haven't beat anybody that prestigious. They haven't had an impressive win, and their 2 biggest games on the schedule, they lost both of those. And you're telling me they're in the top 10. Now, before this season, you could look at Notre Dame's schedule and it's like, oh yeah, they have a few tests. This is actually a schedule that they can prove themselves into the college football playoff. And you got the Texas A&M Aggies. They're obviously in the SEC, big time SEC school. They're doing good this year, but we're looking at this before the season. You just don't know. Texas A&M, decent SEC team, could be good, could be bad, but still pretty good, solid program. You also had Miami to start the year off. They were currently ranked number 10. They had some high hopes coming into this season, a lot of preseason hype. You just didn't know how these teams were going to play out, but these were the 2 biggest games of Notre Dame's schedule. But before the season, you're looking at Miami and Texas A&M like, okay, yeah, they got to win at least one of those, or they should win 2 of those. They're pretty good. They went to the national championship last year. Sure, lost some talent, but this can prove it. This can prove that they are still one of the top teams in the nation. Fast forward, after 3 weeks into the season, they had a bye week in between the Miami and Texas A&M game, and their record was 0-2. So the biggest games of your schedule to prove that you belong into the playoff, and they lost both of them. And you're telling me, fast forward several weeks later, they're in the top 10 with an 8-2 record, and their best win is USC. Top 10, above Miami. I get it. Miami had some embarrassing losses. Yes, they did lose games that they shouldn't have, or we all thought Miami was better than this. And I'm not saying put Miami in the top 10. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is Notre Dame should not be this high. Notre Dame should not be in the top 10 when a team what's Miami's rank? They're number 13. It says number 13 right here. You're telling me they beat the number 9 team in the nation? They both have the same record? And you're telling me they're below them by 5? Excuse me. They're below them by 4 spots. I think Miami and Notre Dame should be around the 12-13 area. Put Miami like number 12, put Notre Dame number 13, something like that. The committee has to be consistent. They haven't been consistent. I just don't think this system is working. I think the Notre Dame problem is exposing that. Now, there is an argument that Notre Dame has progressed throughout the season, has gotten better, and is a better team than what it was beginning of the season. But the committee shows time and time again how important head-to-head matchups are. And if you stop doing that just because Notre Dame isn't in a conference, or just because Notre Dame doesn't play anyone good, that's just how it should not work. It shouldn't work like that. It can't work like that. Be consistent or trash the whole system together. Now, how to fix this issue is for Notre Dame to join a conference. Everyone would feel way better about Notre Dame's strength of schedule if they just joined a conference. Now, if you remember in 2020, they had to join the SEC in order to play football because of COVID. Everyone was playing conference games, so they joined the SEC. They totally went 12-0. They went to the ACC championship, but they did get blown out. But it doesn't matter. I'm not saying like, oh, Notre Dame is not good enough to join a conference and they suck. Notre Dame has the talent. Obviously, I'm not a casual. Like, I understand Notre Dame's gonna have the talent to compete in any conference. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Notre Dame needs to join a conference in order for this committee to rank them, because the committee just gives them a free pass every single year because they play no good teams. They do play good teams and then they lose. Then they take all the cupcakes, they win all of them. Oh, boom, you're in the playoff. They take 2 or 3 good teams. You win one of those 3, you're in the playoff. It doesn't matter. Join a conference. You have way more competitive games. You have teams who are going to give Notre Dame more of a fight than what their cupcake schedule is. I mean, look at this schedule. This is just terrible. Join a conference. If Notre Dame goes on to the conference championship, wins the conference, cool. You're automatically in the playoff. If they join a conference, everyone would feel better about them making the playoff because they have earned it. Just join the ACC, Notre Dame. This is getting ridiculous. I think if Notre Dame's going to participate in these college football playoffs, they have to join a Power 4 conference. If you disagree with me, go in the comments. I don't care. If you're a Notre Dame fan, I don't hate you or anything. I have no beef with Notre Dame. They did beat my Hogs up pretty bad, firing my coach. But honestly, have no beef towards you guys. But seriously, if we're going to make this system work, make Notre Dame join a conference or keep them out of the playoff. I think it's very simple. I think they just get a free pass every single year. I'm not saying Notre Dame doesn't deserve to be in the playoff, but when you lose to the 13th ranked team in the nation and have the same record as them, you do not get to be 4 spots ahead of them. It just makes no sense. But again, I would like to hear you guys' opinions and concerns down in the comments. Thank you guys all for watching this video, and like always, have a good one.